Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Pokemon video. This video, I wanted to make a tier list of all the shiny forms of the box art legendary Pokemon. Now, I will only be doing the first two games of each generation, so the legendaries on Crystal, Emerald, Platinum won't be in this video. However, if you guys like this video enough, I can make another tier list for the remaining legendary Pokemon. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it as well, subscribe if you haven't done so already. But with all that YouTube stuff out of the way, let's get into the tier list. Starting in Generation 1. Well, Generation 1 doesn't have box art legendaries, but it does have Mewtwo. So we'll look at Mewtwo Shiny for Gen 1. Mewtwo Shiny turns it from a pink to a green. Now, I myself find green shinies to be very ugly, at least a good majority of them. There are a few exceptions to that, but Mewtwo isn't one of them. For me, Mewtwo shiny form is actually worse than its normal form, so for me, shiny Mewtwo sits at D tier. Generation 2 legendaries are up next, and they are none other than Ho-Oh and Lugia. These games are the ones that started the continuing trend of having the box art legendary Pokemon. Let's start with Ho-Oh, the box art legendary for Pokemon Gold. Ho-Oh's shiny form turns it from a red and a green being its main colors to gold and red. Now, I really like this shiny Pokemon, gold being the prominent color instead of red, and then making the red the accent color replacing the green. I also like that the tail has turned to gray and white. It isn't too striking though, so for me it sits at a B tier. Lugia is the other box art legendary of this generation, being the face of Pokemon Silver. Now, normally I like pink shiny Pokemon. They tend to be a good contrast from their normal forms. However, I don't think Lugia shiny changes enough. I still like it. However, it just changes the blue on it to become pink. And that's really it. The rest of the body stays the same. I still like the shiny, but it sits at a C tier for me. Generation 3 brought us Ruby and Sapphire. Groudon is the legendary for Ruby, so let's talk about him first. Groudon shiny turns it from a red color to like this ugly lime green. Now, as I mentioned before, most green shinies I dislike, and in my opinion, shiny Groudon just doesn't look good. Now, normal shiny Groudon goes in the F tier. This is below Mewtwo for me because, at least Mewtwo wasn't all green. But Groudon has two shiny forms. Normal shiny Groudon is bad. However, Primal shiny Groudon is amazing. Primal Groudon shiny turns it to a nice black color while leaving the yellow accents in the original Primal form. Shiny Primal goes straight to the S tier for me. Kyogre is up next, being the face of Sapphire. Shiny Kyogre turns Kyogre from blue to pink, and as I mentioned before, I love pink shiny Pokemon, and this includes Kyogre. Kyogre goes to the S tier as well. And like with Groudon, let's tier Kyogre's primal form. Shiny Primal Kyogre turns it black just like Groudon, and I love this one as well. So both of Kyogre's shiny forms actually go into the S tier for me. Diamond and Pearl. These games just recently got remade, so everyone should know the legendaries for these games. You have Dialga and Palkia. Dialga is the legendary you will find in the Diamond versions of the game. And Dialga turns from one shade of blue to another shade of blue. Okay, more of like a greenish blue. Now, despite having some green tint in it, it's not overpowering compared to some of the other green shiny Pokemon. Dialga being my preferred legendary from these games, aside from Giratina, I have to put the shiny form in the B tier. Palki is next, being in the Pearl games. Palkia's shiny form turns it from white into pink? Shiny Palkia makes it seem that a pink light is being shown onto it. The change isn't massive. It kind of just looks like when you washed a white t-shirt with a red shirt. It's just slightly pink. Shiny Palkia for me sits in the C tier. Not a very strong showing from Generation 4, considering Generation 3 had some amazing shiny forms. Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. house the legendaries Reshiram and Zekrom. And if I'm being honest, I'm just not a huge fan of these shiny Pokemon. They have very little changes. Zekrom turns from black to black with a hint of blue, while Reshiram turns from white to like a cream color. And the biggest change is you can't see half the time because of where they are placed. Now, I'll just be quick with both of these since I don't like them. Both of them are going to go into the D tier. They are cool Pokemon, don't get me wrong. I just feel like there wasn't enough done to their shiny forms. Let's skip Black and White 2 for now. If you guys enjoy this video enough, I'll make a legendary shiny tier list and include Kyurem on there. Skipping to Generation 6, we have X and Y. These have the legendaries Xerneas and Yveltal. So let's start with Xerneas. Xerneas is probably one of the most hated legendaries in competitive VGC, thanks to Geomancy, its signature move. Shiny Xerneas turns from a black and blue to a white and blue. While half of its body does remain blue, it does change into a different color and different shades of blue, while still encompassing the top half of its body. The biggest change are the legs going from black to white. I really like this shiny, and I will be placing Xerneas in the A tier. Now, Yveltal. You guys may have seen my video going over my favorite shiny Pokemon. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it after this video. A link for it will be in the description. Shiny Yveltal is one of my favorite shinies of all time because it looks like bacon. That's it. It's the sole reason I love it. S tier, no hesitation. Generation 7, Sun and Moon. Now these legendaries are interesting because they are the only box art legendaries with an evolution tree. Seeing as they come from the same Pokemon, Solgaleo and Lunala have very similar shinies, and I love them both. Let's start with Solgaleo. He turns from like a white and yellowish orange color to just a bright red. The bright red to some may be a bit too much, but I love what they did. Making a Pokemon based on the sun be a bright red sun, Shiny Solgaleo sits confidently in the A tier. Now, while I very much like Solgaleo, Lunala's shiny is just so much more. Again, they do have similar shiny colors. Lunala foregoing its purple and yellow color scheme, also for red. The reason I love Lunala more is what it symbolizes, a blood moon. It's such a simple idea and done very, very well. Lunala also sits in the S tier for me. Finally, we come to Generation 8, and at the time of me writing this script, it is the current main series game. When this video comes out, Pokemon Legends Arceus will probably be out, but I will save Arceus for the rest of the legendaries. This game introduced Zacian and Zamazenta, the Sword and Shield Pokemon. Original. But we're not here to discuss the originality of the Pokemon. We are here for the shiny tier list. So I'm going to start with my least favorite of the two, Zamazenta. Now, I like Zamazenta and its shiny, however, I think it is outclassed by Zacian in almost every regard. Zamazenta goes from a red and blue color scheme to a pink and red color scheme. It is a really good shiny, don't get me wrong, and I do like pink shiny Pokemon. But shiny Zamazenta's gotta go in the A tier for me. And the only reason it isn't in the S tier is because of its counterpart, Zacian. Now, Zacian's shiny form is phenomenal, in my opinion. Even if it just goes from one shade of blue to another. The lighter blue color is something I really like on this Pokemon, and when I first saw this shiny, I said to myself, I need it. Shiny Zacian goes in the S tier for me. Now, while I was editing this video, I realized that Zacian and Zamazenta also had crowned forms of their shinies, and they sit in the same tiers as their normal forms. So crowned shiny Zamazenta sits in A tier, while crowned shiny Zacian sits in S tier. There are quite a few legendary shiny Pokemon that I love, seeing as there are 6 or 7 of them now in the S tier. However, just because they are legendary doesn't mean their colors are. This list is just my opinion of the box art legendaries, so I'm curious to see what yours are. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite shiny legendary is. I'm curious to see what you all have to say. Anyway guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and like the video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!